Welcome to
Dropbear
and Panda's
Save the World.
Episode 11 of Season 1.
What?
Crazy, hey?
I know.
So, it's been a crazy week. It's been smoky. It's been dark. It's been really hot and really cold.
Yeah.
We went away last week to Sylvan Lake.
All right, and we're back here in Calgary.
Yeah.
We had one clear day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the smoke is back with a vengeance today. I've had the biggest headache all day. It's been crazy.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, but I just took some drugs.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What kind of drugs?
Ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen.
Yeah.
You know, soon in October, you'll be able to take more than that.
Well, because I have my marijuana medical card in Canada.
Medical blah card.
Yeah.
Now,
I've got my green card already, so I can actually have medical marijuana right now if I wanted.
Yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
However, you don't really use it.
No.
I don't
So
really.
It's kind of a bit of a hassle, to be honest.
How is it a hassle?
Because you got to do stuff with it. It's not like you can take like a pill. Like ibuprofen, super easy. You take a pill, headache gone. You know, marijuana, you got to, I take CBD drops if that's your thing, or you got to like roll up a joint if you're going to smoke it, or you got to put it in a vaporizer. It takes, a bit more effort than I'm really looking for when I've got a headache.
So, but when you use it, is it helpful or I mean, you have a lot of problems.
To say the least. Yeah, it is. It's quite helpful. Like, it certainly helps me sleep really well.
Right.
I don't take any when I'm working because I just can't. I just wouldn't be able to work.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But yeah, but I mean, how many times do I do it? Really in a year? Twice, probably.
Yeah.
When I was really bad. But, for sleep. But I mean, it's a thing. Soon everybody can do it. There's like 3 pot shops that are opening on 10th Street alone.
Yeah.
Within a 2-block radius.
Yeah, 10th Street isn't very long in the Kensington area.
No, it's like super short.
So there's two on 10th, or 3 on 10th.
3 on 10th for sure. No, sorry, 4.
4.
There's 4, yeah, because there's one on the corner where Lot 102 used to be. There's going to be one where the, oh my God, what Smoker's Corner was is turning into Cannabis something. There's New Leaf, which is opening across the street. And there's one other one that I can't remember the name of.
It's very interesting because on one hand, people are I mean, for obvious and not obvious reasons, people are a little anxious about this becoming legal in Canada. You have some people who say, obviously, it's just a plant. It's got huge medical benefits.
Oh, yeah.
Why aren't we doing this?
Yeah.
Of course, the government's going to tax you, and some people are very upset about that. But my comment was, what did you think was going to happen? Number 2 is a lot of people were saying that they're worried about pot smokers just hanging out in front of these stores. But we have in Alberta anyway, I know it's different in like Ontario, we have liquor stores everywhere.
Oh my God, you can't throw a rock without hitting
exactly
a liquor store around this town.
So it's not really all that different.
No, it's not. And I think the novelty will wear off. And I think a lot of these pot shops that are opening up are going to be open for a little while. Then they're either going to get absorbed by a bigger company or they're just going to go away because there's just too many.
Only the strong will survive.
That's right.
Right?
The strongest strain.
Now, I remember driving through Belleville looking for a liquor store to buy a bottle of wine for my aunt and uncle's house because they live in Belleville. And man, was it ever hard finding a liquor store.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to have a house up in Northern Ontario, and man, the hours to buy liquor was so thin, so narrow.
I don't even know if you could buy liquor on Sundays in Ontario.
No, you can't.
You might be able to now. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
So my question for you: do you go to the doctor?
Yeah.
And get a prescription if you need it?
Yeah.
So you don't go through an actual store.
No, and that's the crazy part about it is that I get to buy online as well.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. So and this is crazy. So there's 2 places. So you can get your prescription split into 2. So you can either go to one distributor or another. In case the one distributor is out of your strain, then you can go to another one. Presumably they'll have it. So I use MedReleaf is one, and Tweed is another.
Oh, you use Tweed?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, especially with what happened the other day, right?
Yeah, last week?
Yeah, I want to say it was Thursday or Friday. We were walking through Kensington, and maybe it was longer than that. Anyway.
I could look on my email, but I'm just lazy.
Yeah, we're walking down Kensington Road. It's like late, And we see this huge projection on the side of this building.
Yeah.
And it's a Tweed advertisement projected. And I'm just like, that is so fucking cool, because I love marketing. I love guerrilla advertising. I love these, edgy ways to get your message out. I'm like, oh, that's right on. Tweed. Yeah. I know Tweed.
And the message was like, if you have any questions about this, this is happening in October. We're here to help, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. And so I'm thinking to myself, how cool is that? And I start looking for, how this is happening, because I'm curious, because I might want to use this for a client. What did I see? There's this car with this giant projection unit on the hood, like on the roof of the car, with a gas-powered generator taking up the only handicap spot available in this parking lot.
Yeah, it was not good, ladies and gentlemen. We were not impressed.
And there's empty spaces, like where this guy could have parked shooting against the thing, but he chose the handicap spot.
Which I also found interesting, because the handicap spot, it was... maybe the projection needed to be on a bit of an angle, but if he went 4 spaces down where he was legally supposed to park, it just would have been bang on. Like, it's not like it was the only spot available.
Yeah, I know.
And he had nowhere else to go.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. So I went up to him and I'm just like, hey, man, this is really cool. You're parked in a handicap spot. He's like, oh, yeah, the building, gave me permission. Like,
was it the building that gave him permission?
That's what he told me.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just like, the building gave you permission to park in a city-run parking lot in the handicap spot. Yeah, man. I'm like, cool. All right, well, super. I love the guerrilla stuff. Later, guy. And off we went, and we're talking about it on the way home, and we're both incensed. In different ways.
Yeah.
On one side, I'm incensed from a brand perspective, because I'm like, and a consumer, because I'm a consumer of the Tweed product, and I'm a brand strategist.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this as probably one of the worst things you can do for that brand,
right,
is to park in a handicap spot to do your advertising
for medical marijuana.
Fucking hell, guys.
People who park in that parking space, probably some of them take medical marijuana. Tweed is all about giving pain relief and help to people who are sick and ill and maybe can't walk, or maybe in wheelchairs, who would use a handicapped parking space.
Yeah. And here they are taking it up to do their advertising.
It was the dumbest thing I have ever seen. And I was just incensed, because I'm like, I work in a hospital, and I think any decent person would be like, dude, you're in a handicapped parking space.
You're offside.
And it's not like and it's not like a handicapped driver can park in another space. Yeah. They could, on one hand, because there were spaces open, but handicapped parking spaces are also wider.
Yeah, exactly.
For legit reasons.
Yeah.
And the guy took that spot for his projection. He was just sitting there eating chips or whatever he was doing, right?
Doing his thing. And and here's the thing. We weren't going to do this publicly. We weren't going to come after Tweed and the Calgary Parking Authority.
Yes, Calgary Parking Authority. I sent an email and I have not heard back yet.
Yeah, and I sent a very well-written email to Tweed saying, hey, do you guys know this is happening? What's going on? And, I'd like your response, please, as a customer and as a professional. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this. Yeah. So I got it. You didn't get anything back.
I got nothing back from Calgary Parking Authority. I sent them a message saying this is what's going on. They're parked here. He said that he had permission. I would like to know if that's true. And if it is, I would like an explanation. And if it's not, then somebody needs to go down and give this guy a talking to.
Yeah, or take him to task.
And I heard, I heard nothing back.
And I should say that I don't want us to come across as social justice warriors. That's not at all what this is about. We totally kept it on the down low. We went directly just to them personally. I got a response. My response was something along the lines, I don't have it in front of me, but it was like, Dear Nathan, my name is Michael. We're sorry to hear you had a problem with shipping. Terry at Tweed.
Sorry, Nathan.
And I'm like, So I wrote whatever his name was back, and I'm just like, yeah, so no. I did write to you guys, but my name's Michael, not Nathan, and I didn't order stuff. I haven't ordered for a while. I am a customer, but I was writing to you about this incident that happened. Could you look into it and get back to me? Crickets.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah. So I would just, I'll put it out there, Tweed, that you really should, let us know what's going on.
Yeah.
Just in the sense that it would be nice. We're not going to hang out to dry, but maybe you didn't know that these guys were going to do that, and maybe you've dealt with it internally. But give us a call. Give us the courtesy of saying, hey, thanks for pointing that out. We respect the fact that you love our brand and want to protect it along with us.
And our bad, won't happen again. Totally. Maybe something like that. And we weren't going to say anything at all. Yeah. But because we haven't heard anything
from anybody,
from anyone, we were like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's make sure that maybe it's not going to happen again, because and I haven't seen them in that space since. Space meaning the parking lot.
Yeah. And apparently they were out. They might have just been doing my computer is making all sorts of noise, and I can't do anything about that simply because that'll affect the recording. Because if I turn down the sound, it will fuck with the stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so just ignore it. At least there's no construction happening right now.
Blame it on the headache. That's true. Except for the giant holes in the street outside.
Yeah, they've gone from digging holes in the yard to digging holes in the street today.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
But that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I did have one question for you, though.
Yeah.
You have now admitted that you take medical marijuana.
Sure.
Which in Canada is fine.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to affect, or do you think the legalization of marijuana in October is going to affect people going down to the States?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, they've certain states have legalized marijuana. I don't think that
but the country has. Yeah, the country has not.
Yeah. So I really don't know. I don't have any idea how it's going to impact travel. I mean, I rarely have to travel to the U.S. anymore for work.
Yeah, we just do it for fun.
Yeah. So yeah, I really don't know. And I've heard horror stories like you have going across the border. Have you ever tried marijuana? And if you say yes, you're fucked.
Yeah.
If that's even true. I mean, that could just be people freaking out.
Yeah, or it could be somebody who smokes pot illegally, habitually, and he's like, no, I swear to God, I told the guy it was once when I was 14 and I was at a party and I didn't inhale.
Meanwhile, he has like a burnt roach behind his ear.
Yeah, who knows?
Eyes are all glassy.
I mean, traveling to the States would always make me nervous anyway, especially now. You hear all sorts of stories, and it's just it's just crazy down there right now.
Yeah, it is a little bit crazy.
Yeah, I mean, even this past week, you think you've heard it all, and then stuff just keeps rolling.
Right?
Really.
And I would like to give a shout out again to California, because they are our biggest listeners in the U.S. We do have a lot of states, actually. Right across the U.S., as you know, all the way up to New York. Mm-hmm. And, we actually have a lot of the Eastern Seaboard, which is pretty wild. As well as the West Coast. And we love the West Coast.
Well, I haven't been to California yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's, when it stops being on fire.
Yeah.
It'll still be there. I've heard there's a lot of earthquakes in the Ring of Fire right now as well.
Oh, shit.
Some friends of mine in Victoria were mentioning that
right.
Maybe they won't be around this time next year. So my question about going to the USA, I mean, we had talked about in a podcast earlier that we weren't really planning on going to the US anytime soon.
No.
There's a lot of places we want to go. It just seems a little messy right now.
Yeah.
And honestly, every day just seems to be a new thing.
Right. So give me the rundown of... because I'm kind of unplugged from Facebook and stuff right now. So I'm not, I'm not saying Facebook is news, but you're on the computer more than I am seeing the stuff come through. So give me the highlights.
I'm on hold a lot at work, so sometimes if I'm going to be on hold for 5 to 10 minutes, I like knowing what's going on.
Yeah, and I do to a point, but I do find that there's a saturation level, especially lately, that I'm just overwhelmed. Give me the lowdown. There's a whole bunch of weird shit that happened with Trump and the governor. No, not the governor general.
There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. So a while back, Michael Flynn, the first national security advisor, got caught or charged with lying to the FBI, and he agreed that he would testify against Trump or his
party or something.
Party, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Paul Manafort, Trump's former campaign chairman, has been found guilty on 8 counts of bank fraud, tax fraud, and failing to report a foreign bank account.
Wow.
Now
is that him personally, though?
Well,
right?
yeah, I think it's him personally, but he is attached to Trump's cabinet or party or whatever you want to call it. I'm wondering if it's like going after the mob boss. You can't charge him for anything really bad, so you charge him with tax evasion, and then it all just unravels. It
becomes
after
like a RICO case or something.
So this week, just a couple days ago, Michael Cohen, Trump's lawyer or former lawyer, just recent lawyer, is pleading guilty to 8 counts of tax fraud and campaign finance crimes, including paying off 2 women the hush money.
Is this the Stormy Daniels thing?
Yeah, and another woman.
Stormy is found guilty?
No, he's going to...
He's been charged.
He said, it's a thing. I think he said he was pleading guilty to it, or was going to, and then he, of course, can be attached to all sorts of other stuff.
Goodness.
Now, for the longest time, of course, he said that there was no payoff, and then it was, well, he paid with his own money, but there was like a loophole or something where if he didn't pay with his own money, it would have been more legal than if he there's something weird that I saw today. Like, it was something where they could have maybe gotten away with it if they just didn't do that one thing.
Oh my God.
Sort of stuff.
Well, I'm wondering about campaign financing, if they paid it out of the campaign funds.
Well, no, and it's just that I think they decided to hide it, where if they didn't hide it, if they were honest about it, it would have been okay.
Oh my God.
Something like that. I'm Canadian. I don't follow to the T.
Yeah, sure.
But this is my understanding of brief things that I've seen today.
And we should note that we are not experts in these things at all. We are very topical.
Exactly. So apparently Stormy Daniels, whether you agree or not agree on her, motive of making money or whatever.
Sure.
She was in the right.
Yeah.
And I think she put on her Twitter, not like how you like me now, but something along the lines of that. And, everyone's like, what? Boom.
Oh, shit. Now, wasn't there... Now, one of these people that's being investigated right now actually talked about Russian collusion.
Now, this is something that you saw. I haven't seen anything yet. I know that Trump put a Twitter out at 1:00 in the morning saying no collusion in caps, and people were like, you know what, you protest too much.
Yeah,
this is a little weird.
Yeah, it was one of these people that was, and either it was a guy that was found guilty already, or it was one of the people who was under investigation.
Manafort and Cohen are both wrapped up right now,
and they actually said, yes, so that actually did happen. And again, what do I know? It's what I read on a computer screen as it goes by, and whether it's true or not, I'm no investigative journalist.
This is our little disclaimer on every episode when we start talking politics.
Yeah, because we don't know shit.
No, we don't. We really don't. Yeah. And I guess a couple weeks ago, Omarosa from she was on The Apprentice.
Yeah.
Trump's reality show.
Yeah, right.
She was able to tape on her phone, audio tape meetings. And I don't know whether it was in the Oval Office or not.
Oh.
But, of course, Trump's cabinet or party is saying, this is bullshit, and how dare you, and it's not right, and you're a piece of garbage, and we, whoever hired you is terrible. And, of course, they hired her, but whatever. But my biggest question was, how easy is it to just tape something like a big political meeting in the Oval Office and walking away with it on your phone?
You'd think that you'd have everything removed from you. You'd be swept for bugs. And
you would think.
How important is the stuff that's being discussed in the Oval Office?
It could be just if he likes Coke or Pepsi, or it could be, she claims that there's some stuff on there that's not political secrets, I don't think, but language and
probably some things,
how he treats people and that kind of thing.
Wow.
So I don't understand, but this is why I'm not a politician. I couldn't do it.
I did see some stuff later this evening after I'd finished working, and the stuff that I saw, because it was on CBC and it was on some of the American news networks, where it was if Trump's impeached, what did they say? The language was so inflammatory that the country will revolt. If Trump is impeached, the stock market will crash. If Trump, it's bullying.
Well, I think Trump actually said that.
Well, I know that he said one of those things, but it was getting parroted by all these news things.
Yeah.
And the thing that I take exception to is that that's a fucking bully tactic.
Yeah.
Whether it comes from him or news outlets or whatever agenda people have to basically scare people into not wanting to pursue this. And fuck that.
Yeah, I agree.
That really riled me up earlier, and I was like, I don't like the language. I don't like the fact that, people are being told how to think.
Yeah, no, I agree. And this is the problem
Under
right
a threat.
now. Yeah, and this is the problem right now with politics in general, and I don't know where it started. Maybe it was with Bush
or
Junior,
Grog, the first caveman president.
Yeah, I don't know, but it
Panda.
and I don't know whether it's just because the world is smaller because we have the internet and we can talk to people overseas, and everyone at least can find one person who thinks like them.
Yeah.
But or whether we're just older and we pay more attention or we're more aware of it.
Yeah.
But there's so much weird bullying and lying and ostracizing each other. And was it always like that? I don't know.
Well, I think probably. Like, look at the Attorney General, and he stood up for himself and his office today.
Oh, Sessions, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a strange man. Oh man.
But so I do think that there's the undercurrent. There's justice being sorted out. That's happening. I need to believe that that's true. That these legal agencies, these justice agencies, are teasing every thread, building a case, and then it's going to be pretty fucking obvious when the shoe drops.
Well,
what
and
happened.
I wonder sometimes, like, I'm no fan of Trump, but sometimes I wonder whether it's everyone around him and he actually has no clue. He never did any of it. It's just everybody else, and he's just that guy who they all work over.
Right. Well, there's a lot to be said for the two parties really not being two parties.
Yeah.
The government exists, whether it's Democrat or Republican, whether it's liberal or conservative.
Yeah.
It's the same freaking thing. Because really by the time, somebody gets into office to make all the changes they promised, they realize that it will never happen over their term. It would be impossible. So,
now, was it Jared Kushner who admitted he met with a Russian somewhere at some point?
Yeah,
some time ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, Russia keeps popping up.
Yeah. So speaking of Russia,
I wonder what Badger's doing right now.
Yeah, well, let's get him on the phone and find out sort of where he's at in his adventure, because we've got a Badger in Russia.
We sure do. Let's listen in.
Scooby-Doo, Badger stuff.
Badger stuff.
I don't know what language I'm speaking. Am I speaking English?
So far.
Right now. Yeah.
Okay, all right, because right now I'm staying with a host family in Petersburg, and we're communicating in English, French, German, and Russian.
Oh my goodness.
And and we switch between all four languages, and I'll tell you, my Russian's the worst, and our German is probably the best. So
Wow.
So I don't know what language I'm speaking anymore. I have absolutely no idea. I've been making a complete ass of myself in class. My colleague in class is this lovely young girl named Julie. And Julie is 17 years old and from France, and she's still kicking my ass in Russian. She's absolutely amazing. And we're on the bus yesterday, and we're going off to, we went to the Russian Museum, which is totally awesome. Mm-hmm. And everybody's discussing, well, how do we get tickets? Oh, maybe we can get a student discount. She looks at me and she says, did you get a senior's discount? And I adjusted my glasses, and everybody looked at her and they went, oh, you didn't just go there. You didn't just say that. Oh, my God.
Did you ask her if she was pregnant?
Yes. Oh, and even better, of course, my name is Scott. Scott. What does Scott mean in Russian? That's right, it means cattle. My name means cattle. So they kind of like my name, but nobody's told me what it means, except I know what it means already. So that's kind of, so Scott. Then they always say it with a smile. So I know why they're saying it with a smile. Because they're basically saying, hey, cattle, get over here.
Okay. Well, that was embarrassing.
So, what is his name in Russian again?
Cattle.
I love that guy.
He's so screwed when he comes back.
Yeah.
I'm just going to call him Cattle all the time. So, to get off the weird conversation we've been on,
yeah.
Let's lighten it up a little bit by talking about how terrible Buffy the Vampire Slayer is.
Oh.
I shouldn't say terrible. It's not terrible.
I was going to say that those are kind of fighting words because, there was a time in my life that, like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer was the thing.
Oh, no, I agree.
I'm going to go back even before the series and go to the feature film. And the all-time best death scene ever recorded on film, Paul Reuben's Death of a Vampire.
I think you actually showed me that on YouTube, and I was like, what the ever-loving fuck like, is that?
And he's like, his foot's...
So
it's amazing. Thank you, Paul Rubens.
That movie came out in 1992.
Yeah.
Luke Perry.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch 90210, so I gave no shits. And to me, I am much younger than you. I wasn't even in high school when that movie came out, so I don't think it even registered on my radar. I thought it looked dumb, and her name was Buffy, and it was stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was all tough in junior high, and...
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't. I'd like to think I was.
Yeah, but it didn't reach critical acclaim as a movie.
I don't know why.
But
it's a mystery.
But somehow, Joss Whedon ended up making a series, which seriously busted down doors and boundaries.
It really did.
Yeah.
And the reason why I bring this up is I am rewatching it.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't watch it when it started in 1997.
Yeah.
That was... again, I was like, it's based on the movie. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, and I think I probably started... I watched season 1, I think, probably 99.
Yeah, and I started watching it only... The first time I watched it was maybe 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So...
And, of course, Angel.
Yeah, there's Angel as well. Yeah. I tried to actually rewatch Angel, and I couldn't get through. Although the first time I watched Buffy and Angel, I was going through a hard time in my life.
Yeah.
I was not working.
Yeah.
Because I was on a... Let's call it a sabbatical. And I really loved the shows when I watched them then. Yeah. There were a few problems I had with them.
Sure.
Dawn, mostly. She was a whiny little whinerson.
Yeah, Dawn and I was not, and this is, I'm sure it was the direction she was given. What was Willow's girlfriend's name?
Tara.
I had a real issue with her constant sadness and like, yeah, and I mean, certainly. But I mean that really encompasses like her delivery of a lot of her lines, and I know that it was direction that's given.
For sure.
I don't like picking on actors for choices.
If you watch the whole season or the whole series, though,
yeah.
So Joss Whedon was known for being, trying to make strong women characters.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer, not
Biff
the Vampire Slayer. But except when they're like beating people up and killing vampires and demons and whatever, every character talks not as bad as Tara, but they all seem meek and quiet and shy and little.
Yeah.
Until
except for
danger comes.
Except for Faith. Like Faith was... have you gotten to that?
Oh no, Faith was a long time ago.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Except for Faith. But Faith was a horrible person.
Yeah.
I mean, she had her baggage and whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I'm on season 6 right now. I'm just 2/3 of the way through season 6.
Oh, so you're just about to hit Bad Willow.
Oh, I have hit Bad Willow. I am on episode Bad Willow.
Man, that was one of... Okay, so there's so many great things about Buffy that I love. Mm-hmm. From a storytelling perspective, from dialogue, from action and narrative, to risks and choices he made, like the musical episode, which was fucking fantastic. I mean, it probably doesn't stand the test of time.
It doesn't. But
for the... I mean, there is never anything I can remember that was quite like it.
Right.
Episode, or season 4, or episode, 10 or whatever is Hush, which was hardly any dialogue. That's where the demons came, were stealing people's voices, so they couldn't do anything when they had their hearts
and it was a
cut out.
very sad time in the
I got chills.
season as well.
Yeah. And then 6, when, and no, spoilers, we're talking, this is ancient history.
Yeah.
But when Tara dies and Willow goes fucking just snaps.
Yeah.
and holy fuck, fantastic.
Oh yeah, easily the best part of possibly the whole series. My issue I have with not only all the characters being kind of pathetic.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't remember. I mean, I remember high school, but I don't remember anyone being so meek and little and.
Well, maybe it's angsty.
It's not. You have to rewatch it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want to. I want to preserve this image.
Yeah.
I have in
Well,
my
it's
head.
funny. It's funny because I started rewatching Buffy last year.
Yeah.
And I had to take a break.
Oh, you're right?
Because I
Yeah.
just couldn't stand it anymore.
Sorry, go ahead.
My problem with season 6 is when, again, spoilers, too bad, listeners, Spike and Buffy get together. Now, on Facebook and stuff, they have little quizzes about, like, oh my god, like, Buffy should have wound up with Spike, and, like, how much does Buffy love Spike, and blah, 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 and Spike is better than Angel, and, which, I mean, as a person, he is, because Angel was a horribly written character until he actually got his own show. But they start this sexual relationship, and for most of it, it's Buffy saying no, get off me, stop it. Spike keeps going, and of course then she's like, oh, I've changed my mind, this is awesome, and then the next time it's no, stop it, get off me, oh, we're good. It's not okay. Like, I got to the point where I'm like, I'm actually kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I know it's a TV show, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go off on Joss Whedon. But then, after Buffy breaks it off, he attempts to rape her. And all of a sudden, it is bad.
Right.
But there wasn't really any difference between the 5 times before that and this time. So each time, really...
Have you? And I remember it, but it's not crystal clear in my head. Mm-hmm. But is there anything on the forums, like, has Joss Whedon ever mentioned or said anything about those choices or that story arc? And I mean, here's the other thing: it's a story arc. So is there a payoff? Is there a reason why he's telling that particular story in that particular way? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to it be gratuitous and horrible. It's another thing to be taking a slice of society that he's looking at.
I didn't see it that way at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it as... my first thought was, no wonder people still think that that's okay.
Yeah.
That if you just push harder, the woman or man, depending on what's going on, will change their mind and will submit and have sex with you.
Yeah. Well,
it really bothered me.
What's interesting is, and again, I can't go back in time, so I can't remember what was happening at the time and how far we've come. I mean, so I don't disagree with you. I think it's disturbing and horrible. Mm-hmm. What I appreciate maybe is that it opened up a conversation that maybe we weren't having about how gratuitous it is on TV,
right?
And how we're being conditioned. Because he also broke great ground with homosexuality and all sorts of things he tackled as well. Mm-hmm. And I'm not justifying it, but I'm curious if that. I'd love to sit down and talk with Joss and find out
and I understand. I mean, it's funny. There was an episode again in season 6. Where one of the 3 nerd baddies, Warren, like the worst dirtbag of all.
I used to love those guys.
Oh yeah, they super adorable but terrible, right?
Yeah.
And Warren was the worst.
The worst. Yeah.
And he ended up brainwashing his ex-fiance to submit and have sex with him and be whatever. Oh. And she comes to, and she says, "This is rape. I'm going to the police."
Yeah.
So. It's come up in the show, more than once. But
interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just
I love the stories that create conversations and make people talk and think and stuff. Now, are they like the Ghostfacers?
Oh, Ghostfacers aren't bad guys, though.
No, I know, but like I was just thinking about Supernatural and Buffy.
Oh my God, Supernatural.
and I was just thinking about the nerds in Buffy, and really that's kind of like the Ghostfacer, offshoot.
Yeah,
even though
the
they're not.
Ghostfacers are also trying really hard to be super cool. So when Supernatural started, again, I really need to start giving TV shows a chance when they come out, because I was like, oh my god, it's just guys doing the Buffy thing and pretty boys, blah. But oh my god, I started watching it like 3 years ago, and I watched like the first 3 seasons in like 3 months.
And you were telling me about it, and I resisted. I resisted like solidly for a year, and then I fucking binged like 12 seasons.
Dean is my favorite.
Yeah,
I love him so much. Jensen Ackles.
Yeah, it's a great show, great writing.
Come see us. Oh, it's so much fun. It's ridiculously fun.
Yeah, and I just, hello, boys.
Hello, boys.
It's just
Dean!
Yeah, so good. Anyway, so that's we need more shows like that, please.
I know. I love it.
Yeah.
I heard the Big Bang Theory is last season, next season.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't watched it since season 3, I think.
I don't even think I've watched it since season 1.
I didn't get on the bandwagon. I hated it and thought it was vapid and blah. I think around season 3, it became the same show over and over again. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I've already seen this. I don't need to see any more of it. Yeah,
the first season I didn't mind. I think we've mentioned before, my father used to watch Star Trek, and I remember there was a scene in The Big Bang Theory where all the guys were sitting around and someone was trying to say something and they shushed him and said, stop, it's the Star Trek Tribble crossover episode. And I was like, I know what that episode is! Which made it super fun.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So little pop culture references and whatnot was a lot of fun, but I just found it got weird and overdone. And
sure.
It's on like season 12, I think.
Yeah. Maybe... Is really that's impressive.
So.
But isn't like Supernatural season 13 now? And it's got to be the last one. I hope it is.
I don't know if it's the last one.
I don't want it to end, but I kind of want it to end.
Yeah. Well, as the Supernatural guy said, it's not jumping the shark if you never come down.
That's right.
This season 13, is a shorter season.
Yeah.
Okay. It's 20 instead of 24 episodes, I want to say. Yeah. But apparently they said that it's because they're just away from their families a lot. So even cutting out 4 episodes
makes a huge difference.
Is a huge thing. So
yeah, and there's the other thing they were talking about, like how long it takes to film a show. It's a ridiculous commitment.
Yeah.
Like I look at every episode as a gift.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's...
And you know what? I give kudos to them because every season they have at least 1 to 3 ridiculously silly episodes.
Oh, yeah.
And in every episode they have silliness in it.
Yeah.
But like the one episode, I don't know what season it was, where they were stuck in TV land.
Oh my God, I love that episode.
It was like one of my favorites. Yeah. Or when Dean ends up being terrified all the time. Screaming. Or... with the rabbit's foot, right when they just have unluck,
bad luck.
And I wonder if Buffy the Vampire Slayer actually paved the way to have silly episodes, right?
I think
because
so.
of like the song and dance episode or whatever.
Yeah. I've got nothing but great things to say about that entire cast too. Like you see them a lot in like on social media as a team, as a group.
Yeah.
A friend of mine from Loose Moose was actually on one of their episodes, and she said they were amazing. Like,
they seem to
so
be
kind and genuine and great, and that's what you want to hear, that because it's such a fun show, and all of the cast is so talented, and the writers are fucking amazing.
I just had a vision of Dean running in that barbarian costume because they're at a LARPing festival, and the blooper is he's running and he slips and he's got this amazing golden mane and he just goes down.
Totally.
Oh,
yeah.
Such a good show.
So good.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else any other reason to save the world?
Well, I'm thinking how we saved the world this week is we're telling people not to park in handicapped parking spaces.
I think that's fair.
And no means no.
Yeah.
And so does get off me means no.
Yeah.
And stop it also means no.
Yeah, all those things are stop.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
fucking do it.
So I think I feel good about this one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So that's it. We're going to wrap Season 1, Episode 11 of
Oh my gosh, you said rap, and now I'm like, I want you to rap the ending.
Can you drop a beat? That's right, we're gonna end season 1, episode 11. That's right, 11. We're gonna cut it down with Dropbear and Panda save the world.
Ow! Thank you for appeasing me.
Like a locomotive on a motherfucking bender. Yeah, I my coat on, now my chap follow me. Yeah, with Michael Doggies, yeah, you be checking on the flow, yo. Checking flow, choose quick, you can't pick my medical ranges, angles, tangles. You get tangled, twisted side effects, child should be. Can't compete with the owls that devour. Yeah, with the owls that devour, yeah. Yeah, the Dropbear and Panda, coming at your render. Dropbear and Panda, coming at your render. Dropbear and Panda, coming at your render. It's like a locomotive Flynn without to my normal champa. Dropbear and Panda, coming at your render. It's like a locomotive Flynn without to my normal champa. Dropbear and Panda.